Hey Cowboys Nation, welcome back to the ultimate dive into all things Dallas Cowboys. This is your spot to break down the latest on the team, dig into player performances, analyze strategies, and figure out what's coming next for America's team. Today, I want to shift the focus a little bit. Normally, we'd be knee-deep in a full-on game preview for this week's matchup against the Chargers. We'd go through keys to victory, potential mismatches, and highlight players to watch. But let's be real. While the Cowboys are technically still alive in the playoff picture, the reality is a little murky. There's no need to spin a full-blown preview right now. Instead, I want to focus on something more important, giving us a glimpse of the future and figuring out which players deserve more attention during the final stretch of this season. My goal over these remaining games is simple. I want this team to play with purpose. I don't want them rolling over or giving up, and honestly, that says a lot about the leadership on the sideline. The last thing a head coach wants is a team that quits before the season ends. These Cowboys have grit, and now it's time to think beyond just the immediate games. Let's start with some offensive pieces. Ryan Finnoy immediately jumps to mind. He's already established himself as the team's number 3 wide receiver, and honestly, he deserves the extra reps to show he's ready to take on a bigger role next year. I'm not talking about moving him up to number 2 just yet, but keeping him sharp, confident, and involved in the offense is critical. Finnoy has shown flashes of reliability and playmaking ability, and that kind of consistency is invaluable when building depth for the wide receiver room. We've seen other options, but Finnoy stands out as someone worth investing reps in. The future is his to shape, and these last few games are the perfect audition for what he could bring in 26. Moving to the defense, the Cowboys' linebacker core has been a mess this season. Shamar James and Maris Leaf deserve more attention, more snaps, and more opportunities to prove themselves. DeMar Overshawn remains a cornerstone, no question, but it's clear that other veterans aren't adding the value needed. Kenneth Murray and Logan Wilson have been taking up significant playing time, but it may be time to redistribute those reps to younger players who have the potential to grow. Shamar James, in particular, has shown promise, but hasn't seen the field nearly enough. He's instinctive, fast, and developing into a reliable option if given the chance. Murray has plateaued in his growth, and it's not realistic to expect a sudden leap in instincts at this point. Leaf, on the other hand, deserves another look. His snaps have been limited, but with some adjustments and trust from the coaching staff, he could contribute meaningfully. The takeaway here is simple. Give the young talent a stage to perform, especially when the veterans have either plateaued or are simply placeholders. The offseason will demand a strong linebacker foundation, and the more we see now, the better prepared we'll be to make the right decisions moving forward. On the offensive line, injuries have forced some tough calls, but there's a clear opportunity to experiment with combinations like Tyler Gayton and Nathan Thomas. Nathan Thomas has struggled at times, but the right tackle spot needs answers. Terrence Steele has been solid, perhaps even the best tackle performance on the team, but we've seen enough to know what he is and what he isn't. Thomas deserves a chance to stake a claim, particularly on the right side. If it doesn't work, the Cowboys might still need to look externally, but testing him now gives clarity and avoids scrambling later. With Gayton out due to injury, this could be the perfect window to see how Thomas handles the position under live-game conditions. These experiments aren't just about short-term fixes. They're about identifying potential building blocks for the offensive line next year, ensuring the Cowboys don't enter 26 with another hole to fill a tackle. Defensive ends are another critical area where adjustments could yield significant gains. James Houston has underappreciated potential, especially as a situational pass rusher. We haven't fully seen what he can do beyond stopping the run, and with the season winding down, it's the perfect time to test him in expanded roles. Dante Fowler has underperformed, and Sam Williams hasn't been effective either, so there's room to let Houston try to make an impact. It's about evaluation and giving him the chance to grow into a dependable piece of the rotation for next season. Similarly, the tight end room offers some intriguing possibilities. Luke Schoonmaker had one of the best moments of his career recently, showcasing hands, athleticism, and the ability to make plays after the catch. Brevin Spanford has had flashes as well, though inconsistencies remain. The team should leverage these last games to get a better sense of who is ready to contribute consistently, who can handle key responsibilities, and who might emerge as a long-term option in the tight end rotation. Perion Winfrey at defensive tackle also deserves attention. Keeping him active on a roster, but barely using him doesn't make sense. With injuries affecting the rotation, there's a genuine opportunity to see if he can step up and contribute meaningfully. This isn't just about the current season, it's about evaluating who belongs and who can compete for a spot moving forward. Young players at safety, including Maris Bell and Elijah Clark, should also get extended looks. Donovan Wilson and L. Hooker may not return, so it's essential to see what the next generation can bring. Giving them playing time now provides clarity and accelerates development in live situations, something that practice alone can't replicate. Finally, in the backfield, running backs like Jaden Blue have to earn their opportunities. Blue hasn't seen much action, but the remaining games are a chance to demonstrate reliability, discipline, and readiness. Malik Davis could see some snaps as well, especially if the team is willing to experiment with rotation options and give young talent a real look. These end-of-season reps are critical in forming a foundation for next year, not just evaluating current performance. Every snap matters for these players, and the coaching staff has the opportunity to identify who deserves a role going forward. The theme across all these positions is consistent. Maximize the remaining games to see who has the potential to impact the roster in 26. Whether it's giving wide receivers a platform to shine, experimenting with the offensive line, testing linebackers in real-game situations, or exploring the backfield and tight ends, the goal is to evaluate, grow, and identify the pieces that can make this team stronger in the next season. The Cowboys may not be in the thick of the playoff hunt, but there is plenty to learn, plenty to experiment with, and plenty of talent waiting for a chance to step into a larger role. By approaching these last games with focus and intention, the team can set itself up for meaningful growth while keeping players engaged and invested in the future. Every snap, every play, every adjustment counts, and these final weeks are the perfect stage to discover the players who will define the next chapter of America's team. Shifting back to the defensive side, the Cowboys need to think long-term about the depth across the roster. Players like Maris Leaf and Shamar James represent a future the team should be invested in. Leaf has had flashes this season, but hasn't had the consistency needed to fully earn trust, and James has seen almost no game action despite showing strong potential in practice. These last few games are a chance to see who can adapt to the speed and intensity of the NFL. The defense as a whole has been inconsistent, and part of that comes from relying on veterans who are at their peak or plateaued, rather than giving younger players the opportunity to grow in live scenarios. It's a balancing act, still playing the veterans who can contribute while carefully integrating the younger talent, so that the next season starts with a more confident and experienced core. At linebacker, the mix of experience and youth is crucial. Overshawn remains the cornerstone, but the rest of the core needs evaluation. Redistributing snaps from players like Kenneth Murray, who hasn't developed as hoped, to James or Leaf makes sense. These adjustments aren't just about playing time. They're about clarity in personnel decisions heading into the offseason, identifying which players deserve a role and which might need to be replaced. Turning back to the offensive line, the health of Gayton, Thomas, and Steele continues to be a focal point. With Gayton sidelined, Nathan Thomas gets the chance to step into the right tackle spot. It's a critical test. Steele has been steady, but the Cowboys cannot rely on him indefinitely, especially if he's not returning next season. Evaluating Thomas in game conditions gives the coaching staff the data they need to make informed decisions. Offensive line depth and talent development is a slow process, and using the remaining games to experiment is the smartest approach. Even if Thomas struggles, the team gains clarity on who they need to pursue in free agency or the draft. Football decisions often involve calculated risks, and this is one of those moments where the team can take controlled risks to prepare for the next season while still keeping the current roster competitive. In the tight end room, it's time to see what Luke Schoonmaker and Brevin Spanford can deliver. Schoonmaker's one-handed catch and subsequent run was a highlight, showing both athleticism and the ability to create after the catch. Spanford has had ups and downs, including a missed blitz pickup, but both deserve extended opportunities to see if they can be part of the offensive scheme in a more meaningful way. The tight end rotation is an area where clarity is vital. Knowing who can reliably contribute in week 1 of next season allows the coaching staff to plan effectively and gives the players a sense of direction. There's also an element of competition here. Pushing these players in live games will reveal which tight end has the instincts, versatility, and confidence to step into a larger role. These evaluations matter not just for depth, but for offensive play calling and scheme development as well. Defensive ends like James Houston have earned a chance to expand their role. He's shown glimpses as a situational pass rusher, but now is the moment to test him more broadly. The Cowboys' rotation at defensive end hasn't been ideal this season. Players like Sam Williams and Dante Fowler have underperformed, which has limited the team's pass rush effectiveness. Houston's skill set suggests he could contribute in both run-stopping and pass-rushing roles, and seeing how he responds to increased snaps and responsibility will be valuable. These opportunities are about growth, assessment, and preparation for the future. Evaluating Houston under pressure in different situations will reveal whether he can be a dependable part of the rotation next year or if alternative options need to be explored. This is the kind of foresight that separates teams that rebuild intelligently from those that scramble at the last minute. The safety and secondary positions are another area demanding attention. Maris Bell and Elijah Clark have been underutilized, but with veterans like Donovan Wilson likely moving on, it's time to invest reps in the younger talent. Clark, for example, has been solid on special teams but barely seen in coverage. Extended playing time now can help the coaching staff understand his instincts, tackling ability, and comfort in coverage. Bell hasn't been impressive consistently, but again, the remaining games are a laboratory. By rotating these younger players into meaningful snaps, the Cowboys can measure their readiness, adaptability, and potential for the future. This experimentation is not about risking losses. It's about investing in a roster for the next season and giving the players experience that can't be replicated in practice alone. Running backs are another critical focus. Jaden Blue, the 5th-round pick from Texas, hasn't had significant playing time this season, appearing in only a handful of games. The remaining weeks are his opportunity to prove himself, not only as a runner, but as a reliable contributor in pass protection, blocking, and special teams. Malik Davis could also see snaps, especially if the team wants to explore different combinations and evaluate versatility. These moments are not just about performance. They're about building confidence, assessing readiness, and providing a real-world picture of who deserves a role in the backfield next year. In a league as demanding as the NFL, small opportunities can define careers, and these remaining games provide the perfect stage for young backs to stake a claim. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Dallas Cowboys fans might be in for a nightmare scenario. Sources close to the team are reportedly signaling that star quarterback Dak Prescott could be facing a serious injury, potentially putting his season in jeopardy. While official statements remain scarce and the organization maintains a cautious stance, insiders hint that the injury is severe enough to raise major concerns about Prescott's availability in the coming weeks. The speculation has sent shockwaves through the NFL community. Prescott has been the backbone of the Cowboys' offense, and his ability to command the field, read defenses, and deliver under pressure has been critical to Dallas' identity. Losing him, even temporarily, would be a seismic shift not only for the team's playoff aspirations, but also for the morale of players and fans alike. Analysts are already debating whether the backup quarterbacks on the roster are equipped to carry the weight of a team with championship ambitions. Rumors suggest that the injury occurred during a high-impact play, but details are murky. Some insiders speculate that it could require an extended recovery period, raising questions about whether the Cowboys will explore outside options or make quick adjustments to their offensive scheme. The organization is reportedly conducting additional medical evaluations, while Prescott himself is said to be focused on recovery and staying positive despite the uncertainty. Social media has erupted with reactions ranging from disbelief to fear. Fans are speculating on everything from a mid-season trade for a temporary replacement to a full-on retooling of the offensive line to support whoever takes the snaps. Former players and analysts have weighed in, with some warning that the Cowboys season could unravel if the injury keeps Prescott sidelined for any significant stretch. While Dallas has shown resilience in the past, the looming absence of their franchise quarterback could redefine the narrative for the team. With whispers of a serious injury circulating, the NFL world is watching closely, bracing for what could be one of the most consequential developments of the season. Only time will tell if the Cowboys can weather this storm or if the injury marks the start of a challenging road ahead. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.